Welcome back everyone to Elite Championship Series Open Division Playday number 6. I'm CCB joined alongside Yannick, and today we have a best of one between Aura and Necrotic Gaming up ahead of us. And well, it's going to be exciting. These two teams, they've proven themselves. They've played a couple of games. They won some, they've lost a few. However, they stand right here in the upper echelon in the middle of the table. So Yannick, now heading into this stage of Open Division where, the places are about to be locked down. I mean, it's quite an obvious statement. I think it would be a rhetorical question or a rhetorical statement to say that this is an important game. Of course it is. So considering the stakes right here, do you expect to see some good gameplay?
I mean, these are two teams neck and neck in the Open Division. You might not say some of the standings or a second place. Necrotic is fourth, but it's only 1 point that's keeping these two apart. And second place is enough to get you into playoffs. And speaking of a good game, well, you asked me if you were going to see a good game. And honestly, I think you're going to see one of the best in Open Division.
Certainly so. I mean, I have to agree right here. You mentioned Aura's journey so far. In the top two right now, if they get another win, if they secure another 3 points, further 3 points, then that just, enhances their position in spot number 2. And I think it'll make it more difficult for the teams right behind them to play catch up and to follow up on them. I'm talking about teams such as Necrotic, first of all, who are sitting on position number 4. If they win this game, not in overtime, but in regulation, if they get the 3 points, they overtake Aura. And I think that's the biggest storyline right here. Necrotic need the win in order to overtake 2 of their opponents and in order to secure a spot in the top 2 of Open Division. I think that is the biggest point they have going for them right now, and that is going to be the biggest driving force for their side. Their sheer motivation heading into this game is that if they win here, I don't think they'll get any other chances. If they lose right here, if they give the win to Aura, well, like both of us mentioned, they secure a spot, they further enhance their spot in second place. So this is their time to shine. They have one opportunity. The iron is hot right now. Let's just strike and let's just overtake. So I guess that is going to be the main plot point that will be driving the side of Necrotic Gaming. But otherwise, Yannick, what map are we playing today?
We're going to Villa. Sunny Italy is on the menu for today, on the cards, with Necrotic starting on defense. Most teams would say that's the favored site to start in on Villa. What are your 2 cents on that, CCV?
I'd surely favor Necrotic purely because so far from both of these teams in the Open Division, we've only seen Villa once, and that was when Necrotic Gaming played against LAG Gaming. It went into overtime, but they secured an 8-6 victory. So add to that the fact that they already have a win established, they already have some experience established here at ECS. More importantly, like you mentioned, they're starting on defense. I think they are the favorites right here. I think Necrotic Gaming are in a better position starting off than Aura. However, Aura can certainly change that within a few rounds, and they can show that they are dominant as well. Of course, the auto ban is working their way. We haven't seen Aura play Villa at all. They have played a lot more of Clubhouse in Oregon and Cafe Dostoyevsky, but well, that's what the auto ban is for. More maps, a larger and volatile map pool, and well, that's why we'll get to see Villa right now. I'm getting confirmation that we're about to jump in, so it's going to be one interesting game. Yannick, in terms of operator bans, which operators do you think are going to be slashed off right from the start?
Honestly, I think a Thatcher is going to be one that's going to be gone straight off the board here. On Villa, he's so strong to get control over Statuary when you're attacking that site, or even Aviator and Bar. And honestly, no Thatcher ban. That's gonna not even just change the way this game is gonna be played. It's gonna define the way it's gonna be played today. First by being an ace though, not the Thatcher yet between in brackets yet.
I'm not really sure about that. I think Necrotic, maybe they're planning a bandit trick, maybe a K trick, and that's why they don't want Ace on the board so that he can use his Selmas. But then again, if you're planning for that, maybe a Hibana ban would have been more useful, but I'm not really sure. In the meanwhile, Aura themselves are going to ban Thatcher. Well, this is an interesting turn of events. You could have had Thatcher on your attack, I mean, already when you're at a significant, not significant, however, a small disadvantage compared to how Villa plays out, I think you want all cards to be in your favor, and Thatcher would have been quite useful. He would have been a force to reckon with, not in terms of kills, but in terms of strategy and tactical choices. But I guess this is why Aura were planning to ban Thatcher, because they want to get rid of his enemy as well. Cade is gone off the board. So far, 3 bans we have seen, and all 3 related to Heart Breach. I think the 4th one may be something different.
I'm expecting a Mira. To be honest, Mira is really scary to play against, especially in a site such as AVG. If you are attacking that site, need to confront that black rectangle of death, you're going to be very scared. But it's going to be a castle ban, a ban that I haven't seen that often within ECS at all, and not to mention Villa. I am struggling to read this, CCV. Can you help me here?
So, in terms of Villa, I think, I mean, the only significant thing that stands out to me is, I mean, I think the old meta, the meta which was there, say, 3-4 months ago, back when, there was a very, very specific strategy taken up by plenty of Tier 1 teams all over EU and NA, where in Statuary and Trophy, you had a couple of specially placed castle barricades, and, you had a Vamai or a Smoke, someone who excels at close quarter combat, playing inside of Closet. He had castle barricades to help him, and then out of those 3 walls on Trophy, one of the walls was completely opened up instead of the usual reinforcement and then electrocution of them. So that was one of the strategies. However, if I'm being completely honest, that's quite old. I mean, yeah, that strategy has not been seen recently by any stretch of imagination. So purely because of that, I'm not sure why the castle ban has taken off. Either this is some sort of counter strat coming from Necrotic, against Aura. Maybe they have war reviewed them. But otherwise, Yannick, just like you, even I'm in the dark, and we can only see how this castle ban will play out after we see a couple of rounds play out, actually.
Yeah, and of course, it's Necrotic that banned it, so we're actually going to have to wait at least 6 rounds to see how that's going to affect Aura in their defense. Almost reinforcing her own rotate, not very smart to do, would be a waste of bullets, but he noticed it in time. So we are moving into AVG, the first site for Necrotic to defend. It's typically most teams' primary bomb site. Cheeky C4 coming out here from Pichu. We saw it happen in Invitational just a few rounds ago. Is it going to hit? It will not hit anyone significantly. Just taking 25 HP off of Barry.
Well, that was a cheeky tactic right there, Of course, with the Invitational going on, you've got to be sure that you have all the tips and tricks under your belt. You have to be aware for all of them. I'm sure there's going to be plenty, this is just day 2 of the Invitational. So I think each and every single player will be keeping a keen eye out for all of these tips and tricks, whether to execute them in their ranked game, casual, or maybe even, actual games, much like what was tried right here. But apart from that, a slow round so far. Aura, quite consistent with their drone economy. They have 7 drones on board as of now. In terms of map control, well, they're making some progress. Wild has managed to make his way all the way towards Classical Hallway. Now, one obstacle standing in front of him, that's going to be the shield, behind which one of the defenders is playing. He will use a lot of his utility in trying to get rid of it. Look at the Melusi Banshee as well, tagging him. And then I think that was the drone hole inside of Vault which got him. But there's the first kill. Already Melusi is off the board, and another follow-up means that both teams are equal.
Casualty on both sides is going to mean that both teams are going to be kind of wary now. Necrotic, they're going to start to need to move back as one of their roamers have died. The Melusi with the potent MP5, not going to be using that anymore this round. The wall into Vault is going to go open, and that's some exquisite map control here for Aura. Map control that they're going to be loving and they're going to be needing later on. Wild's going to capitulate on that by getting onto Pichu. The person that got the refrag on their Ash is now going to be down and deceased 6 feet on the ground.
Well, the attacker's trying to push in. They've opened up wall. There's a nice angle being held by Black Wolf. If he can spot the Zofia, that is, he spots him, he gets the kill. And now the attackers, they're getting desperate. It's still equal in terms of man count. However, look at look at the map control they've gotten. They have players inside of Study as well, but they cannot make progress. The smoke canister is slowing them down bit by bit. Only one more canister remains, so not a lot of time that it can buy. You need your guns to start working, and the same goes for the attackers. You have grouped up near landing, but but you have to start your execute. 35 seconds on board, 3 attackers on board as well.
One more smoke from Caster could play in big here as Benfast going to go for that defuse plant. He isn't going to get stopped. He has 2 seconds left. Might as well just stick this. But Caster coming close. He might stop him himself. He doesn't get the quick. Doesn't deny the diffuser plant, and with that, we're now in a post-plant situation. Benfast holding the angle close onto the door. Caster on the diffuser just needs a good cover. Top Standard sending the drone in, knows that he's being diffused, and Benfast needs to cover that, and that's exactly what he does. But time's running low here for Necrotic, with time ticking down below 20 seconds, and just Black Wolf here sticking to the defuse. Gonna need to get covered. That's exactly what happens. Black Wolf, though, sticks off, but Vault with a double kill is gonna be able to cover Black Wolf. That's gonna be counter defusing, and with that, Necrotic, kind of in panic, are gonna win themselves round number 1.
That wasn't something anyone expected, I presume, because, I mean, first of all, the diffuser was just allowed to plant. It was around 25 seconds in the action phase. It wasn't like it was the end and, you know, the attackers just had to plant. There was nothing else. They had plenty of time. They chose to plant the diffuser, and the defenders, they didn't counteract at all. I mean, the smoke canister went out, but it wasn't hurting the attackers, and Smoke swung wide with his SMG-11 towards that wall door gap as well. However, he missed the attackers, and they fell back safe and sound, and I think that was one of the mistakes, you know, Necrotic. They've got to be more careful with how they want to deny the diffuser being planted. I remember, you know, Jaeger was playing inside of study as well. However, even he wasn't able to hold angles. Maybe it was because of the smoke canister blurring the vision of almost everyone in that position, or regardless of whatever it was just a flurry of mistakes coming out from Necrotic. However, Vault, thanks to his 2k at the end, you know, he saved the round. He completely salvaged it from quite literally nothing. The time was running out, but in that case, for the defenders, Wamai, Black Wolf, he had to disable the diffuser, and he did a good job at it. And I mean, especially, you know, a better job was done by his teammate Walt for covering all the angles and making sure the attackers died. So that was a weird end towards a regular seeming round. You know, it started off quite normal, a few picks here and there. There was nothing out of the ordinary going on except for what happened at the end. So I guess these teams, they just have to be a little more sure of not making any of these mistakes towards the end. Otherwise it was quite good. Yeah, it's still the first round. A lot can change. Aura can also, you know, show a more dominant side of them, you know, not losing a lot of those gunfights. They had a lot of trades going back and forth, which is good for the defenders, since you just have to wait for the clock to run out. However, as attackers, you need to win those 1v1s, and I guess that is what they'll be looking forward to do in round number 2.
The amount of utilities sent to study, it seems that Necrotic are expecting Aura from push excuse me, just let me rephrase that. They're expecting Aura to push from that side of the building, but no less is true. They've entered in from downstairs, and Pichu on the flank here could get 1 or 2. There goes the first, and there's more for him to get. Well, it's going to shut him down, though, and with that, yeah, it's an equal trade, but is it really an equal trade if you look at the amount of utility that Aura have lost? The IQ off the board could be huge here for Necrotic.
It certainly could be. You know, you've lost one of the only operators that could locate the signal disruptor, and yeah, Black Wolf places another one of them. So I guess the Ash can still use one of her breaching rounds. As a matter of fact, I think that's exactly what she'll be doing to try and get rid of the jammer. So the wall will still be breached. Top Xander alive and healthy with the diffuser, has all of his Havana pellets right now. So I don't see any change in terms of that. Yeah, he's making his way towards bedroom. They're looking to make progress. A little bit of time has been used up, and purely because of, you know, trying to get rid of Benfast. However, it's led to more positive attributions as well. More importantly, this roam clear of Vault. He was the MVP in the previous round. Now that he's gone off the board, it can certainly ease some of the pressure building on the attackers of Aura, and now they can look for a more extensive roam clear, which they absolutely need to do. Look at this position being held by Melusi. I mean, yeah, this can be deadly.
It definitely can be if Aura isn't aware of the Melusi playing that deep into master bedroom. Black Wolf also playing close on the door with that shotgun is seemingly deadly. From that range, there's almost no chance for any kind of weapon that isn't a shotgun to provide lethal damage towards that player playing there, but Caster here, he could go huge if he gets the kill onto Top Xander. Top Xander jumps in, Caster gets pinged, but no, Caster is going to reign supreme with the MP5. He's going to want to follow it up with another, but there's nobody there to meet his bullets, as Aura has now set up for a red tick. Black Wolf at the SMG-11 from Statue gets one. Is JLo going to refrag this to put it back into a 2v2? The C4 coming in gets shot in midair, and Sandy from behind could do some damage too. JLo tagged, and this is looking more less and less like an Aura round, but not if it's up to Wild with a triple kill. And now it's all down to Black Wolf. He needs to get 3 on this round. Does he want to clutch this for his team? But no! Wild with a quad. He's gonna show why Aura wins this attacking round.
Oh man, that was an insane showing right there from Wild, and I mean all of these rounds are just demonstrating the individual capabilities of these players. You know, in round number 1 it was Walt playing the Jaeger with that double kill at the end. Now it was Wild with this total 4k, just absolutely turning the round on its head and making sure you can never predict what's going on. I mean, after that insane amount of damage dealt to the Ash from I think, yeah, from the mute, I thought that the round was over. Black Wolf, you know, he was delaying them so much, and there were no more avenues remaining for the attackers to push in, but they started entering from trophy, and then Wild just got these 2 insane kills in rapid succession, and because of that they were able to plant the diffuser. They had the man advantage, and before you know it, they had the round. So I'm not really certain what happened right there. You know, I mean, in all honesty, again, the most basic answer would be Necrotic. They just didn't win their ones, and that's not the best thing you want to do in a situation like this. Come on, you have to improve further. This cannot, I mean, you cannot lose those scenarios, right? It's a 3v2, 15 seconds remaining. Just hold them off. No need to peek aggressive angles, and I think they've realized their mistake. Let's hope they don't repeat it at all, because they've given what was quite literally a free round for their side on defense, on Villa, hence allowing the attackers to, again, you know, the pressure has been eased off of the side of Aura, and they can further, I mean, they are more calm. They don't have a lot of problems to deal with, and I guess that's exactly what they'll be doing in this round as well. So Necrotic, if you want to beat Aura, if you want to take their spot, if you want to take their second position, you cannot afford to make these mistakes, especially at times such as that late into the action phase. But well, this is a new round, a new objective, a new bomb site. Let's see how that pans out.
A replay of the second round won't be in store here for us, as they have gone down to Kitchen. An interesting choice there, decided not to retry Statue. Maybe it's now where Necrotic can find our second round on the board. Pichu gets 1, and that's Wild with the board. The player that went massive last time is now going to be retired into an observer position. He can maybe hold some drones here for the attack and provide some flank watch, as Black Foe's gonna put JLo in the grave too, and with that, 2 of your entry fraggers are gone, CCV. That's really quick, only 1 minute off the board.
I mean, yeah, Pichu has been one person who has not been really substantial, like, later on into the rounds from what we've seen. However, early on, he is a menace. The past 2 rounds, he got the opening kill. He is still standing strong, not to mention the operator. He's playing Melusi, further enabling, you know, the crowd control aspect of that, slowing down the attackers, relaying information to the defenders. He's still standing strong, and well, Necrotic, they are just piling up right now. Another kill, this time for Caster, as he gets rid of the Hibana, meaning that, well, it's all down to Berry, to be honest. And him stuck in this 1v5, I think he's going to use this time as a bit of a, I think a strategical timeout. Oh, no, never mind. It's just going to be a flawless round.
Necrotic just showing when they went downstairs, didn't want to retry a Statue, and well, worked out for them here. We talked about the round number 2 of Necrotic losing their 1s. I think this is the polar opposite of that. Necrotic winning all of their 1v1s, catching Aura off guard, and it's it was a very interesting showing here. Aura seemingly just not up to that attack. They just fall apart at the seams.
Yeah, Aura, I'm not really sure what happened right there. You know, they just lost their ones. They were a bit disconnected, I guess, because if you look at the time at which the kills happened, you know, they weren't refrags like what we saw in rounds 1 and 2. You know, for example, if you're an attacker, if attacker number 1 dies, then boom, attacker number 2, he gets a quick kill, we make sure it's a 4v4. That's not what happened. They just got picked off one by one, and there was absolutely nothing that they could do about it. There was no aspect of refrags, and that was a big play for Aura, you know, because, and that was a big reason as well why they lost. So apart from that, I'm not really sure. You know, they're going back to Aviator in games. They lost this round because of gunfights. You know, they had a seemingly decent execution, all thanks to, you know, the misplay coming from Smoke using his canisters and not being able to swing properly and get and secure the kill. But in this case, I think they can change more things initially. They can get better map control. I mean, they were all, yeah, map control is one thing where Aura was already looking quite strong. I'll admit that. It was just the later stages where they seemed to falter a little bit. So I guess that is one of the places where they might choose to improve, and they certainly should have to improve. You know, they have to start winning those initial gunfights. But apart from that, yeah, again, it's a new round. No one's really sure what to expect. The attackers, they're going for this roam clear starting from bedroom and astronomy. They're going to meet up against, you know, the Goyo, Pichu playing the Goyo, and I think Melusi's also playing downstairs, perhaps ready with her C4 and trying to get rid of some of the attackers. Meanwhile, on site, things are also quite calm. You know, we have Vamai, we have Smoke, and yeah, it's the calm before the storm for both of these teams, and they're just waiting each other out and trying to sense them. But now they've made the initial play into the site, and let's see what happens. And oh man, there's the C4. It works out for Melusi.
Definitely works out indeed, and what really stood by me from the last time Aura attacked this site is how quickly they gain map control. It's not going to go as quickly if you don't have your entry fragger of JLo on the board anymore. He's going to be off the board for now, at least this round. He won't have anything much more useful than holding drones on his agenda, and this might slow down that map clear that Aura so potently had in round number 1. Necrotic has meanwhile mostly retired back to site, but Pichu downstairs, even though he's on 1 HP, he's here and here to stay. I think his objective here is to try and deny the plant or any kind of push from Study, if that were to come from the side of Aura.
Absolutely, you know, he has to deny that. We are seeing Vault open up right now, much like what happened in round 1. But this time the impact trick is really going to help the defenders right now, as it gets rid of 12 Hibana pellets out of the 18. So yeah, getting into Vault is going to be a very, very tough job. You can no longer make those crouch holds, and well, it's just going to be a peak hold right now, as Wild kills the peeking defender of Vault. 4v4, a minute still on the clock. The attackers, they have gotten a bit of map control. However, look at the roam. The defenders, they're still calm. They don't have to rush into anything. They've learned from their mistakes, and I think we are seeing that with this round as well. And we still have to wait for the attackers to initiate the progress. They have gotten rid of one of the players in classical hallway. Well, they have to kill a few more.
Pichu from below as well, he's just chilling down there. He knows what he needs to do. He knows what Aura is going to be up to in the next 30 seconds. That's the second smoke canister is going to be tossed out by Caster. Black Bull farms one, immediately refragged by Wild, but not up to Caster. He gets rid of Wild, and with that, a top fragger on the side of Aura is off the board, and now they still have to find 3. 2 of them are on low HP, or have lost some health in some gunfights earlier on in the match, but this is going to be a brawl of gunfire. No, Ben, you can't go running through that hole. It's not big enough for that. Barry with the pistol finds 2, and with that, it's all down to Pichu, who was below earlier this round, but Ben Fast shuts him down, and with that, what a turnaround here from Aura.
Well, this was certainly better from the side of Necrotic. You know, they were more calm with their defense. The smoke in this case, you know, all the mistakes that Caster had made in round 1, well, all of them have completely been, you know, reconciled. They've all been forgiven, I'd say, in my eyes, because he played this round quite nicely, especially his use of his smoke canisters. You know, the fact that he could delay the attacker so much, especially at the point of entry, which was landing. Landing is always this bottleneck place. If you can get through the landing doorway inside of Aviator or behind the vault door, well, then that opens up opportunities for you as an attacker. But it's the actual process of pushing through that is the most difficult, and that's exactly what couldn't happen for the side of I think that was one of the attacks, unfortunately. You know, forgive me, I forgot. But yeah, he slowed the attackers down. That's the more important thing. He used the smoke canisters to perfection, and that's exactly what you require from someone playing an operator like that, the crowd control aspect of it. And because of that, because they could no longer push from landing due to the canisters and the toxic gas, I mean, yeah, the round was completely gone. It was a very desperate push coming into classical hallway and heading into games room, and it just wasn't the best from the side of Aura, to be honest. I mean, they didn't have any opportunities, to be honest. It's just a small child heading into. I don't have any any analogy to relate to what happened right there, but I think we can all imagine what happened and the situation that Aura were put in.
If you're looking at the amount of kills that Aura has, it's mostly wild with that amazing 4K in round number 2 when they were attacking Sophie and Saturate. Honestly, he pulled back that round for Aura. If it wasn't for him, it would have been a totally different story that we were casting right now. And now quite in the neck and neck here. It's map control getting in quickly established from Aura downstairs. Last time there was a Melusi here, or that was able to pick up a cheeky kill into the IQ. Doesn't seem to be the case this time here. But Sundi, you might be going for a cheeky rotate here down the hatch, and Pichu, he's ready to pounce on some attackers too.
Oh, Pichu, this man, it's the early round. The initial kill hasn't happened. Be aware of this goal. This man can get kills for his side. I'm not really sure, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Are those, I mean, they are lines of sight, but at the same time, I guess they were trying to open the hatch. They don't want to waste their one remaining impact grenade that's on Sundi right now. But I'm not really sure. I think they were trying to open up line of sight inside of kitchen as well. If you can get a POV onto Sundi and the angle he's holding. But I'm not really sure what's going on right there. But never mind. Let's get back to the round on hand. Let's get back to Aura, more importantly. The defenders, all they have to do is wait. However, it's upon the attackers to initiate, some of those gunfights. And well, oh, speak of the devil, that's exactly what they do. Top Xander getting the first kill of this entire game, where Aura get the opening pick for their side. Oh, this is big for them. And now all they need to do is get rid of the mute jammer, and things will be looking a-okay for themselves.
1 minute still to go. Pichu here, he's ready for a little flank, but the Nomad trap is stopping him right in his path. Barry is going to have told his teams, oh, put one here, put one there, and if Pichu triggers one of them, he's going to be a dead man for sure. I think he gets droned out there by a drone at his feet, bottom of Astro. J-Lo, that's exactly what he does. He's going to decapitate Pichu, and gone is your roam. And suddenly Necrotic, they're down 2 men. They're down 3 men as J-Lo finds another one. And Black Wolf and Vault. That's only Vault. I keep speaking, but or they're just too quick. Vault in a 1v5 needs to pull something out of the hat. But it's J-Lo. He's gonna get the headshot onto Vault, and with that, Aura win yet another round on their attack here, CCV. It's 3-2, and Aura are in the lead.
It's always been statutory and trophy, The previous round that Aura won was on this bomb side as well, and now they won another round right here. I'm not really certain what to think of exactly what's going to happen from the side of Necrotic. They seem to be struggling a little bit. Their best scenario, well, it's going to be a 3-3 equal split, and they'll be heading into their attack. So I guess unless that castle ban really helps them out, unless 90% of Aura's strategies relied on bringing a castle and trying for some new weird combinations and setups. If that is not the case, then I can certainly see Aura getting this match victory, because they'll be going on to their defense. This flawless round, it just showed the fact how they can rack up a lot of kills for their side. They can win those gunfights irrespective of who the player is who is getting the kills, and irrespective of the person who is getting killed. And well, at this point, they've gone to living room and library. Okay, this is something I don't think anyone expected. Yeah, in all honesty, I was thinking they'd go back to kitchen and dining, but living room and library, Necrotic, no matter what the result are, they've certainly taken an interesting turn in terms of their strategies. They've banned castle, they're holding living room and library, and I'm not sure, how exactly they're planning on holding it here. They have a lot of second floor presence, and we can also expect a lot of vertical lines of sight to be established as well. So it's going to be a vertical hold, much like what you would expect on bomb sites such as second floor reading room on the map of Cafe, first floor kitchen on coastline as well. I think, yeah, kind of like that. They're holding it. Again, nothing out of the ordinary, but certainly something we don't see far too often.
No, I've actually never cannot actively remember a living room hold before inside ECS or any league I've casted before. Benfast, he's gonna see that there's quite some resistance they're gonna need to put up here inside of Aviator, and more so in Study, as that I think is gonna be Aura's approach here. I cannot think that Aura isn't going to be a little bit taken away here, or taken a. How do you say that? He's going to be a little surprised by Necrotic's side pick. And Vault, he's going to take the head off of Wild, and with that, suddenly your top frag off the board. Or are going to need to come up with something here, not just to improvise for the weird side pick here from Necrotic, but also for that man disadvantage they have early on.
Absolutely, Aura. I'm not going to say they're in shambles, but them, man, yeah, they certainly need to come up with something. I mean, yeah, just like you said, I think they have been slowed down a bit because of the weird side selection, and I don't think they have it completely down on how they want to attack. They have like a set theory in mind, but it's like loose. It's not. It doesn't have, you know, those exact points and those exact objectives that they want to clear. They have some ideas that they want to initiate, they have some ideas they want to take further, but they cannot do that right now. For example, they want to get rid of the rumors on second floor, but they're not making any progress. A minute and 15 on the clock, you have people inside of Study, however the defenders are still standing strong. You can have a look at Pichu, playing towards 90 hallway, still looking over. Caster as well, inside of Bar. Sure, he's on half HP, but he's not moving out of there anytime soon. So you have to get rid of these guys, otherwise you cannot execute onto the bomb site at all.
Going to be made even harder for them as Benfast falls down on the floor with not only his Iana but his twin clone as well. Barry though does try to make things up for Aura as he does get a kill, but himself losing a lot of HP is going to put him in quite a tough situation. Is he going to take another gunfight here? Aura, they're wasting a lot of time and losing a lot of time, and with that they're losing Barry as well. Necrotic with double the man count with 30 seconds left for them to hold out. It's hard to see and to make this an Aura round in my head.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Aura, these guys are really desperate right now. Ash going to push in, it's all down to top. Xander, he gets one frag, nice headshot, pushes in with the bearing 9, already hard to recoil gun, and a very hard to cope with round, as they come to terms with the fact that, well, they have lost out, and it's going to be a 3-3 split heading into the second half, heading into, you know, the side swap right now. And this was a nice showing from Necrotic. I think this is the kind of gameplay I want to see from Open Division. You know, it's not all completely consistent and the same the same staple gameplay of Rainbow Six. You know, I want to see unique things. Sure, if you look at it on paper, if you really analyze a lot of these setups and all that, you will find a few mistakes. You can surely counter-strat them, but live, you know, in live time, once you're like actively in the game, you don't have a lot of time to cope up against them, and that's where many teams can falter. One example of that, I mean, we just saw Aura, you know, completely be decimated by the defense of Necrotic, and that was a brilliant showing. But now the question is, can they repeat it on their attack? The side swap has happened. The defenders, you know, they have been switched to attackers and vice versa. And I have to see this castle ban. What does it entail? Is it a 200 IQ move? Perhaps, we may never know. However, these round results will surely speak for themselves.
I can't really think of a way that Aura would play Castle, that any team would play Castle on Villa, that would handicap them so much that it would cause the Necrotic or the opposing team to be able to gain such an advantage from banning them. It's such an... seems to me like such a low impact ban, as you know. Also have a Rooney that does kind of the same thing, not necessarily exactly the same, doesn't block line of sight, doesn't block bullets, but it doesn't allow utility and personnel through without actually dealing damage. I mean, as you said, only time will tell. Round 7, Aura's first defensive half has started, defensive round, excuse me, has started here. And maybe this is them improvising without a castle. I guess Necrotic must have had some kind of scrim with Aura here to read the castle ban. And well, we can keep speculating, but in the end of the day, we shall have to see with our own 2 eyes, CCV. As the first round is underway, some damage, some trade damage here between JLo and Zundi. I've got to say, JLo lost quite a lot of damage there from holding an angle from above.
Yeah, he's got to be aware of his next whatever next engagement he takes against the attackers. He has to, make sure he doesn't die early on, because he's one of the anchors. He's one of the people playing inside the objective. So him dying, it's certainly going to be a big blow for the side of Aura, and yeah, they've got to be more careful. Whereas in terms of the other defenders, the attackers, yeah, they're just taking their time. This is a good initiative. Not a lot of times do we see like vertical takes come out. I mean, yeah, after the batteries have been removed, we know what the next step is going to be. They're going to take study control, they're going to take red hallway control, and well, they'll be looking to kill some of the defenders as well. As that's exactly what's going to happen. Pichu with 2, hoping to move on into the objective further. The attackers have completely overblown the defenses towards main hallway. However, one man can change that, and that is wild.
Getting 2 kills on his name is gonna smother the attack push here from Necrotic up the main stairs, and as fast as Necrotic gain the man advantage, they're gonna lose it to Aura after losing 3-4 men in a row. And now it's Pichu in a 1v5, and he needs to ace this CCV. It needs to be an ace clutch. Does he want to win this round here for Necrotic? He has Wild to find. He's getting going on an absolute tear, 10/4, but he decides to plant the diffuser, and Aura doesn't seem to be aware of this. Aura has no knowledge of Pichu that's just chilling in sight, planting the diffuser. And now it's a retake situation. Pichu just made this so much more winnable for him. Both of the Aura defenders are sitting in games and they're lining up, and the ace is right there for the taking for Pichu. Aura, what a blunder!
I think I was saying something about throwing rounds back during round 2 and 3, and I think we have a new throw of the game because this round, because I'm not really certain what happened right there. That was the that was the German Revolution happening back then. You had IQ, you had Bandit, you had Jaeger. However, I'm not really certain. Again, I have no words. You can never predict plays like that. Pichu, completely just playing ring around the rosy right here, going by the backs of the defenders, completely catching them off guard. And because of that, yeah, that was a round win for Necrotic that they shouldn't have gotten by any means. It was a 1v3, and even early on, Necrotic had gotten such a good start. They got 2 opening kills. They were going for that study push. They had gone for that sorry, they had gone for the hard breach as well. Hibana had opened up, Caster had opened up a line of sight and a rotate from games room all the way towards study, and they were utilizing that as well, but then they just died, and before you know it, Pichu was the only one surviving, but he somehow still converted that into a round victory. And that was a big blunder on the side of Aura, and well, they have to suffer the consequences of that. They are down the round, they are going back to Aviator in games once again. This is going to be their revenge if they win right here, or it's going to lead to more suffering for their side. But I think this time they'll be more aware with their cameras and whatever information devices they're holding, and be more aware, situationally as well, as to where the attackers are pushing from, because they've extended towards trophy, but yet again the attackers are not interested in trophy at all. Look at them, they're entering from garage. Oh, sorry, art studio, not garage. This is not Oregon. but yeah, they're entering from main stairs. They're not interested in trophy at all. So I guess that investment is not going to pay off. Those reinforcements in Melusi Banshees, I don't really see a way where they can be useful to the side of the defenders.
Still in my head, when I saw that plant coming down from Pichu, and the 2 defenders from Aura were just looking at each other, seemingly talking to each other in the hallway, chit-chatting away whilst Pichu planted the diffuser. It's quite mind-boggling that just went down, but I'm just going to leave that around the past now. It's done and dusted, and it's now up to Necrotic to see if they can replicate that again. Pichu will hope it's not going to be all up to him this time around, and his teammates are going to not just die one by one, as you said earlier on, and Aura, they need to work on some things indeed. If they lose that round in that fashion again, it's going to be absolutely horrendous. A trade coming in from both sides, and with that a 4v4 halfway through the round. Some juicy map controller for Necrotic.
Oh, wall pushing up, oh, behind the shield, and this is why the shield is so annoying. Top Xander with double,
No
gets
way.
his quad as well. Total of quad kills, and he's still there. Black Wolf peeking wide, finally gets rid of the person tearing apart his team, but his work is not over. As a matter of fact, it's only started right now. 3 more defenders to get through. The diffuser plumb in the middle of study, everyone's eyes on it. Black Wolf has the cover of the shield, however, what progress can he make right here? He can get a few kills. Bandit looks like the most vulnerable person to try and kill right here behind that fireplace. If Bandit peeks wide, he's dead meat and he will be roasted on that fireplace. However, can he get more kills? That's the question to be asked.
He's wasting so much of Black Wolf's time. He sees the elbow, but he isn't giving him the peek. And when he does, he ducks away in time. 2 people peeking at the same time is going to make it a difficult ordeal here for Black Wolf. And you can hold 2 angles at the same time, but not your back. Your back's going to be exposed, and the Melusi takes good care of that. Excuse me, makes good advantage of that. And with that, Aura winning a round they deserved after that amazing quad kill from the smoke on top main.
Yeah, top Xander, I think one of the things that we don't usually see in Rainbow Six a lot, or in FPS games general, is a lot of rounds being won because of hero plays by various amounts of people. Like for example, if you have one person, one Ash Jaeger main who's dropping 20 kills, then yeah, he is the hero player. If he gets multiple aces, 4Ks, then it is expected from him. No one will be very, very surprised. However, what I mean by the statement is, in this case, so many different people have gotten those clutch plays that both of these teams desperately need. They are neck and neck right now. It's 4-4. 8 rounds have been played, excluding the one we are seeing right now because it's in prep phase. But yeah, out of those 8 rounds, at least in 4 of them, we have witnessed these hero plays. In round 1, it was the double kill that Walt got in that post-plant scenario, allowing Black Wolf to disable the diffuser. In the follow-up round, Wild got a 4K, converting that desperate 2v3 into a 2v0 victory. Then in the past 2 rounds of the second half as well, Pichu, how can anyone forget his ace, his clutch ace, post-plant clutch ace, mind you, whatever you want to call it, and then the 4K of Top Xander. So these are 4 different people. However, they've gone for all of these hero plays, and always it has worked out for their side, and I think that's a very interesting prospect. And like I said, it is not something that is very common in Rainbow Six, at least not from how much I've seen so far, that different people going for all of these plays. I think it really highlights the mechanical and individual capabilities of these players and what they can achieve if they have the right strategy in place.
It does indeed, and as we're heading into round number 9, we are moving into Statue. The first time Aura is defending this after their quite blunderous loss in round number 7, excuse me. Now finally seeing a different sight here from Aura. Necrotic, they're gaining the map control they want with help of the Jackal. Jackal is also effective at removing these roamers or dislodging them from their positions. And if it's up to them, they're not moving anywhere right now, as there's 2 defenders there just holding each other's back. J-Lo, he's going to be taken rid of. Oh my god, getting the double kill onto the person on the window in 90 as well. That caught me so off guard. I didn't even know there was someone rappelling there, and suddenly the Melusi of J-Lo just does a complete 180 and gets one of the most beautiful double kills I have ever seen.
Ooh, that was spicy right there. But more importantly, look at the 2 people that have died. Black Wolf as well getting lit up. Sure, Black Wolf, Sundi and Vault are the people alive, but what can they do? You have lost your primary and your only source of hard breach, mind you. You've gotten rid of the person, that was your primary roam clearer, the person who could be the most effective in terms of clearing out people like J-Lo who are playing near study and all that. With all of these guys out of the board, what little impact can you make right here? We are seeing Wild versus Walt right here. The Wild West and yeah, only one escapes. That is going to be the Sledge alive. It's still a 3v4, but in terms of strategic choices, I think Necrotic have completely lost the round. Look at the HP they have, Vault, Black Wolf, compared to the defenders, and even the operators alive. They cannot deal a lot of damage. You still have Top Xander with 3 smoke grenades, 3 smoke canisters, sorry. And yeah, I think Aura have secured another round, and they secured the match lead once again.
You talked about Hero Play CCV, and J-Lo is making one right now. A triple on his name, and he's going to be looking for more. Sunday could be next in line here if he peeks the wrong angle, together with Black Wolf behind him on oh so low HP. With 30 seconds remaining, or even less than that even, Necrotic there struggling to find a way into the site even at this point. As you said, Top Sander smokes, Malusi's Banshee gadgets, and Valkyrie cams giving constant information towards the defenders. It's going to make it so difficult. Benfast finding one. The second shouldn't be too far, and it's going to be Top Sander getting the second. Aura winning round number 9, winning statue for the first time, and you should be seeing a tertiary bomb site here pretty soon.
Yeah, I gotta say, we are going to be seeing kitchen dining, and I think, I'm still not certain. Yeah, looking at the, looking at the scoreboard right now, we are seeing a few players who haven't had the biggest impact in terms of kills. However, that doesn't mean, they are not playing well. Sundi has had 2, Berry as well, but they're playing the support operators. And I guess one time I highlighted who was the smoke player who played nicely in Aviator game. Oh yes, it was Castor, all the way back in round number 4. He only has 4 kills. However, the way he utilized his smoke canisters later on was really something to watch out for, and really something that was deadly for the attackers to deal with. Right now, yet again, he's playing the hard breach, he's playing the support. In terms of kills, he won't make a big impact, but yeah, he's still doing his job, and he's playing nicely as well. As a matter of fact, almost everyone is from Necrotic, but it just isn't paying off. Aura are outsmarting them and outgunning them, purely because of those hero plays, and it's only a matter of time before we see another person, stand up and get these kills, get these 3Ks and quad kills and aces, etc, that they would be looking out for. And I guess everyone has to be aware, because it's not just one person from either team who can get those kills, it's a plethora of people. So each and every single engagement you take, you have to be aware that this may lead to better or worse consequences for your side. And well, because of that, I guess the teams have to be more careful, especially Necrotic. Another round, and another round loss, and they risk overtime. And even in overtime, if they win, much like what they did against LAG Gaming, it still gives another point to Aura, and it will tighten their grip onto the second spot of the open division. And I don't think that's something that Necrotic want at all.
It's not even just for Necrotic's sake. There's so many teams that are fighting for that second position. As the first spot within Open Division, it's kind of settled already. We've seen Kjell's Disciples on a clean winning streak. Not even an overtime win, just all within regulation wins. So to look at the leader, if you look at the leaderboard, it says that Kjell's Disciples are strong in position number 1, but spot number 2 is still very much contested indeed, and as you said, giving Aura one more round is gonna tighten the grip of Aura, and well, that's gonna spell horrors for the teams fighting for that position. And amongst those teams is indeed Necrotic. Benfast is gonna do some damage onto Pichu. Seem to be working their way in, chipping away at HP here. Or not much of a roam game on the first floor, but there is Wall from up top. He could go big, getting 1 kill. No, he doesn't. He doesn't get any kills. Not yet, at least.
He doesn't get any kills, but his location is known. And believe it or not, that's a good thing, because now the attackers have to be aware of Vigil as well. They have to be like, okay, how do we get rid of the Vigil? There's one play on Astro Stairs, Pichu not aware of that. I don't think he's ADSing completely right there, and that may lead to his demise, and well, that's exactly what happens. Berry, kill of the round, and Aura are looking strong. The attackers, making little to no progress outside of Memorial, holding these angles, trying to get the breach in, but nothing is paying off. They have to be the ones acting right now. A minute still remaining. They can try and enter from kitchen, but it's not going to lead any successful results.
Oh, While and Jail are piling up, and Necrotic, they're dying one by one. Vault is able to take the life of Barry, but is it realistically gonna matter here? With 40 seconds left, Vault and Cindy, they need to perform here in the next couple of seconds. Do they want to salvage this round here for Necrotic and deny Aura that one singular point that they're gonna have guaranteed if they lose this round? Volt already on half HP is gonna make his life a lot harder as he's now the last man alive. Zundi falling right next to him. Has to find 4 players or get that diffuser down, which is not necessarily gonna guarantee him the win, but Wild from above, the same spot he was in about 2 minutes ago, is gonna take out Volt. And Aura, they have secured themselves overtime, and with that also 1 point within the open division.
Oh, I mean, I don't think it's just overtime. Of course, yeah, they have confirmed overtime, but more importantly, I gotta say that I think this is shaping up to be a win for their side. You know, in terms of the kills that they've had, sure, Benfast and Berry, they haven't been, you know, completely on their game, but then again, you look at the other scope of it, you look at the other side of the spectrum, you have Vile, you have Halo, you have Xander, 13, 10, 9, that's a lot of kills. And looking at Team Aura right here, you know, they haven't been, I'm so sorry, looking at Team Necrotic, they haven't been on the same mark completely. Yes, you have Pichu, yes, you have Black Wolf, but do they have 13 kills? Absolutely they don't. And I guess that's one of the reasons, always is in, you know, FPS tactical shooters. If you get more kills, then as a result of that, you get more rounds. It's simple consequence. It's a very basic consequence. So apart from that, you know, we are going back to Aviator games, and I don't expect anything different from Aura. You know, it worked out previously for their side. You know, they didn't bring the Goyo. The Goyo is one change. You know, earlier Benfast, he was playing the Bandit, and now there is no breach denial whatsoever. No Bandit, no Mute. Cade has been banned, so I'm not sure what they're bringing right here. Definitely not a Castle, mind you, Yannick, because he was banned. For what reason? I am still not sure.
10 seconds remaining.
It hasn't been working either for Necrotic. Like, they got the ban off, and Aura is still winning. And I think it comes back down to the fact that even if a team relies on a castle as much as they can even do, there is so many ways to adapt yourself from that strategy. There's no known strategy, to me at least, on Villa where a castle plays such an important role that he can't be substituted for something else like an Aruni or a Malusi. He's so expandable, and it's very sad actually to say that about Castle, seeing as he has not played as much within any form of league in Rainbow Six Siege. And hashtag buff Castle, because I mean he deserves a buff, to be honest. He's
no, Castle Elite.
Castle Elite, yes.
No one cares about buffs when you can get the elite. But more importantly, why wait for guns and why wait for bullets when you can use C4s to get kills? But in this case, anything and everything works out for Aura. They've already gotten 2 kills. Halo doesn't have a C4 anymore. But what a shot from him on towards bedroom, a triple kill for this man. Someone hand him ice cubes because he is on fire. He needs to tend to his burns and he needs to tend to his wounds as well. As he falls back to side, he has dealt enough damage. It's time he retires back for this round. And well, I guess it's time Necrotic retire from this game, because unfortunately, in my eyes, they've lost. They have lost.
Unless they can pull a Pichu and get an ace clutch, one of these players, or maybe within the two of them they can get 5 kills, get a sneaky defuse off. It's indeed very hard to see Necrotic win this round. 1 minute and 30 seconds remain for them to play with, and playing shouldn't be the word I use, as they need to use it very, very wisely. Do they still want to salvage something out of this round? But realistically, it's over. TCV, you said it, and I'm just gonna jump in that bandwagon with you. Necrotic, it's time for them to go home. They tried really hard. They tried with the ban. J-Lo is now gonna say, hey guys, they're about to breach the vault wall. And with that, the impact check not gonna be successful, actually. That's very surprising. I thought that would be successful.
Yeah, it was crouched, so it didn't work out. But in this case, oh, nice headshot coming from Black Wolf. But is it plenty still? 50 seconds remain. They have plenty of time to play with. They can go up classical hallway. They can go up vault, and they can push from landing as well. They are dealing the damage, but is it enough? Yet again, the question has to be asked. Well, only time will tell.
both of them on site. 30 seconds remaining. Caster finds one, goes down himself. And now he leaves Black Wolf in quite a precarious position here. Sees his shield, gets rid of it. And the last two defenders, I stand corrected, are on quite low HP. Barry and J-Lo especially on 1 HP. This is pretty winnable here, TCB. If you look at Black Wolf, the HP is quite even, but that's going to be changed as Barry takes out Caster. Diffuser out in the open, and now it's a 1v2. Make it a 1v1 as Black Wolf gets a triple. He needs to either plant the diffuser or get the final kill. The final kill seems unlikely. He has to go for the defuse plant and needs to stick it here now. J-Lo, he could go big, but he has to go all the way around. There's no time for him to stop this, and now we're in a post-plant situation. A 1v1, and Black Wolf and J-Lo is so low on HP. One bullet from any weapon, from any projectile is going to deal the damage, but Black Wolf pulls Necrotic from all the way down in the depths of a 2v5 back onto the scoreboard. What happened? What did we just watch?
You know, you know how I said before this round started, when the scoreboard was being shown, I said that, yeah, Black Wolf, they're getting a lot of kills, but do they have 13 kills? No. Well, guess what? He has 13 kills right now. Oh my. That was a round to remember. That was a round that'll go down in the books of Open Division. And, well, this game is still heating up. We are going back to Aviator in games. And I guess, as much as I want Necrotic to win, in the pre-match presentation, both of us were hyping them up because in a way they are the underdogs and they can be the usurpers, taking the position of Aura, taking spot number 2. However, with all of that being said and done, I still think that in this round, Aura have a better chance of winning. Well, why? On their defense, they have gone to Aviator in games 3 times. Out of those 3 times, yes, they've only had a 33% win rate, which is not a lot. They only won a single round, but keep in mind, back in round number 7, they went to this bomb site and they lost the bomb site. It was a 1v3. Pichu with that insane ace, the German Revolution that happened, and he won the round. But then Aura went back to Aviator in games, and guess what? Top Xander, he got a 4K and he secured the round win for his team. And I think history may just repeat itself here on out as well. I think in this round, we may or may not see hero plays. We may or may not see 3Ks and 4Ks and all that. But I think we can certainly see maybe Aura improving further in terms of, their... I think the positions in which they are really comfortable. I think those man count advantages positions is how I describe them. Those 5v2s, those 3v2s and all that. That is where they need to improve. And that is something, basically if you explain it to any casual player, if there are 4 members alive on your team and only 2, you should win. Everyone would agree. But that is not always the case. And in this match, it has been one of those rare instances where it has never been the case, where we have seen so many of these clutch plays, and who knows, maybe we may see another one of them.
Necrotic now, they're 1 round away from pushing it into overtime themselves. They're dealing quite the damage here to Aura. J-Lo and Topsand are both losing a chunk of HP. I think if you would add both of those up, they could about lost 1 single man. But who also lost a man is going to be Necrotic in the form of Zundi. Topsander runs out, gets on the caster, and with that, we're back where we started last round as well. Aura with a pretty hefty man advantage, and not only would it be so if J-Lo could find another one, but none of those heroics just yet. Necrotic, we've seen them come back from a similar situation before, and we've seen them fight back, because they're not a team that lays down even when told so by Aura. 1 minute and 30 seconds remain. Can Necrotic maybe pull something here, pull something back together from the shambles of this round?
I'm not sure, compared to the previous round, the Hard Breacher was alive. The Thermite being played by Castor. He was there, he opened up vault, but in this case, no one's alive. You just have soft breachers in the form of Zofia and Sledge, and even they're dying out. With a minute on the clock, I don't think Necrotic can win right here. I know I said that in the previous round, but in this case, I think it is the harsh reality, but I still want them to win, and I guess for the final time, let's see what happens.
Oh, Black Wolf, you went big last time. He's going to need to go big again here. Vault yet again. Maybe not on the Thermite this time, but he has the Diffuser on hand again. Black Wolf, he's getting a bit of a deja vu moment, attacking the same site, but this time it's all going a little bit slower for him here. Last time he had about 1:30 to work with, now he only has 30 seconds to work with, and if he has to go through 5 players, it's going to be really, really tough. Vault starts it off for Necrotic, getting the kill onto JLo. That's your top triangle with the board, and Black Wolf now needs to get 4 more with the smoke canister around. This is such a dire situation. He can hold the angle, but realistically, Bandfast might as well just peek this, because there's no way for him to clutch this. It's a GG, and Wild acknowledges it as well. Black Wolf on sight, but Barry makes quick work of that, and with that, now, finally, Aura win this round, which they actually did deserve last round.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, a win that they deserved as well right from the start. You know, they secured a 3-3 split and they had an extremely intensive showing on the second half as well, winning 3 consecutive rounds. They only needed the last, and yeah, all because of Halo. This man, how many kills does he have? He has 13 kills, 14 for Wild, absolutely insane. KDs of 2 all around the board for both of these players, and yeah, they have been the people to look out for, and even in future games these two will be the people and the persons to look out for. If you're up against them, if you're watching the stream and all, make sure you have your eyes on them, because they can certainly get a lot of those kills, and well, Aura can certainly get a lot of those points. 3 more on the board for them, and now they secure a total of 14 points, only 1 point behind Kiel's Disciples, who are currently leading the open division. So with this 15 points and 14 points, again setting the stage right here, the team in number 3 is going to be Reactive Gaming with 11 points, and then Necrotic Esports with 10. Yannick, we still have a few more playdays to go before we head into the championship playoffs. Do you think that any one of these teams, currently in the middle division of in the middle table of open division, with 11 points, 10 points, 9 points, can they overtake these giants in the form of Kiel's Disciples and Aura?
Well, I'm not quite sure here, CCV, and I don't want to be rude here. If you look into what the producer just sent us here, we see that Kelsey actually forfeited their last game. So this open division is way more interesting than it is. Kelsey was only on 12 points here, and Reactive Gaming are on 11. That's the most up-to-date standings we have, and Aura winning this round gives them 3, puts them even with Kiel's Disciples, only losing out by, I think, round count, as they won at 5-7. No, I think they're exactly on par with Kiel's Disciples. They're exactly on par. And
I think, maybe. But I was looking at something completely else. Only now have I seen this, and oh my, I was wrong. I just don't, you know how in courts it's always that jury just don't listen to whatever was said earlier. The same thing. Don't listen to what I said. But yeah, looking at the new standings, I think it is more cutthroat, and this is what open division is supposed to be. In major division, you can have a few teams that are these long-standing giants who can never be defeated. However, in open division, you never really know what's going to happen, and well, that's exactly the case that we are seeing right now with this victory that Aura get over Necrotic. And looking forward, I'm looking forward to more open division games. I think we have one more on Friday, and I'm not really sure which 2 teams are playing, but still, considering what we have seen from open division so far, it certainly is proving to be interesting, than what we've seen in the earlier seasons of ECS with just majors and contenders. That is more staple. This is more wild, pun intended.
Indeed, it was an absolutely blast of a game to watch, honestly. Seeing some of these, as you call them, hero plays, pull out from the side of like Pichu in that ace, clutch, post-plant, however you want to describe that, as you said, heroics. Looking at how the Melusi of, I think that was... Yes, JLo, exactly.
And JLo, sorry,
Halo, JLo. That guy going insane, getting amazing kills. Not to mention the 180s and the flicks, and I think, if you just a great way to say it, Open Division is an amazing league to watch and certainly cast.
It certainly is. Yeah, J-Lo, out of the 6 rounds on defense, in 5 of them he played Frost. And I guess this would have been a much better ban. Had Melusi been banned, not only would J-Lo have had to play some other operator, and the crowd control would have been gone as well, the C4s would have been gone. But I guess that's enough said and done about the game that we just witnessed. It was a very, very good game. A 7-5 victory, far more intense than any of these teams were expecting, and a result that surely many teams were expecting. But yeah, that concludes our one and only game of today. Catch us back at the same time, 7:30 p.m. CEST on Friday, for our next set of games of the Open Division. Till then, it's been me, CCV, alongside Yannick, Grissom and Noah behind the scenes. Thank you for watching Elite Championship Series, and we'll catch you later.